The Kansas City Chiefs may actually be the luckiest team alive. Welcome back, everybody, to the KC Sports Report. I'm your host, Michael Darcy. I'm going to recap the Chiefs' insane 19-17 victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. A game the Chiefs should not have won is somehow able to turn into a victory. So the Chiefs found themselves winning 19-17 late in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, this game was not managed very well down the stretch. The Chiefs had the ball 3rd and 2. Patrick Mahomes drops back and throws the ball deep down the field to Xavier Worthy, who obviously didn't catch the ball because they've had problems connecting on that all season. And really the only time that I think that connection has resulted in points was against the Chargers. So Mahomes missed Worthy. It became 4th and 2. The Chiefs punted the ball back to the Raiders, who had no timeouts left and about a minute and change left on the clock. They were able to work down the field and get into field goal range for their kicker Carlson. Now, Carlson had missed 3 kicks on the day, so the likelihood that he was going to make a game winner wasn't high. But the Raiders were driving, and the Raiders were in pretty good field position to have a pretty manageable field goal. But on a play that I just don't even know how to describe, Raiders center Jackson Powers-Johnson snapped the ball to Aiden O'Connell, who wasn't looking, and the Chiefs were able to, record a fumble recovery. Nick Bolton jumped on the football, and the Chiefs escape. The Chiefs somehow found a way to win a game that they should not have won. This game kind of reminded me of the Denver Broncos game, where the Chiefs defense kind of let the other team go on a drive, but they ended up finding a way to win. Whether it's a blocked kick or the other team making a mistake, in this case it was a botched snap that turned into a fumble that the Chiefs recovered. Somehow, some way, the Chiefs find ways to win these games by 1 score. And they find a way to win it on the final drive of the game, which, Chiefs fans, I'm sure that we're all stressed because it just seems like each and every single week this game comes down to the wire. And so, yeah, the Chiefs escape. Yeah, the Chiefs get their 11th win on the season. And they actually clinched a playoff spot with this win because the Dolphins lost yesterday. So the Chiefs are going back to the playoffs for the 10th consecutive year, which is great news. But the Chiefs didn't play very well in this game. And I don't want to be the Debbie Downer. I don't want to be the guy that, keeps criticizing this team when they win. But guys, they won 19-17. But if Jackson Powers-Johnson could actually snap the ball to his quarterback, the Chiefs would not have won this game. I think Carlson probably would have made the kick, and the Chiefs would have lost 20-17, or I guess 20-19, after having the ball with under 2 minutes to go in this game. That's unexcusable. You can't have that. And yeah, the Chiefs won, and I'm gracious that they won. I'm thankful that they won after Thanksgiving. But it just seems like, man, the Raiders lost this game. The Chiefs didn't win this game. I just saw Carrington Harrison on Twitter. He's the host of The Drive on 610 Sports Radio. He was talking about how this is a very Chiefs way to win a game and a very Raiders way to lose the game. And I couldn't agree with that statement more. The Raiders lose these type of games, and somehow the Chiefs win them. But I do want to go over the offensive stats for the Raiders in this game because it was troubling for this Chiefs defense. Aiden O'Connell, who was coming off of IR, had 340 passing yards for 2 touchdowns, and they were able to run the ball effectively, which they have not been able to do all season long. McCormick, their new back, was phenomenal in this game. He had 12 carries for 64 yards. Brock Bowers, the guy that I was talking about before this game, being really their only true offensive weapon, he was insane. He had 10 catches for 140 yards and 1 touchdown catch. Jacoby Myers had 6 catches for 97. I would say the Raiders' offense was probably more impressive than the Chiefs' offense in this game. Mahomes was 26 of 46 for 306 and 1 touchdown. He did get sacked way too many times. I believe he was sacked 5 times on the day, which makes it back-to-back weeks getting sacked 5 times. And he was just getting pressured on each and every single down. And that's just something that you cannot have. Your tackles have been bad this season. You saw Wanye Morris got benched in the middle of the game. I believe it was late in the third quarter for Joe Thuney. They pushed Joe Thuney over to left tackle. They put Mike Caliendo in at left guard. They had seen enough. But even if it wasn't Wanye Morris allowing Patrick Mahomes to get hit, Jawan Taylor was getting penalties called on him left and right. And so it just seems like right now the Chiefs' tackles are in a lose-lose situation. They're either going to get called for a penalty or they're not going to be able to block their guy and Mahomes is going to get hit. So it's a really unfortunate position the Chiefs are in where it just seems like they can't win in this game. But let's get to a couple positives because I did see two players that returned from injury play really well in this game. Isaiah Pacheco had 7 carries for 44 yards. Again, he's coming off of IR. This is his first game since week 2, and he looked pretty good. He averaged 6.3 yards per carry. DeAndre Hopkins had 4 catches for 90 yards. Travis Kelce had 7 for 68. Noah Gray had 4 for 58. So you saw that, Travis Kelce and, Noah Gray also had a drop in this game. The tight ends dropped a couple passes, but even DeAndre Hopkins dropped that one ball, I believe it was on 3rd down, where Mahomes was somehow able to complete it with Max Crosby breathing down his neck. But the offense wasn't great. It's nothing really to write home about. And against a Raiders defense that's not very good, that's kind of concerning. And I don't want to say that the Chiefs are cooked because they're 11-1, but how many of these games are we just going to say, yay, the Chiefs won? The Chiefs won this game 19-17, and it took a just monstrous mistake by the Raiders center to snap the ball when nobody was looking. Like that's not going to happen every week. The Chiefs have gotten very fortunate that teams have made mistakes in critical moments. The Chiefs have won their last, I guess they've got 14 wins in 1-score games. The Chiefs normally are pretty good in this situation, and they were good today, but they were only good today because Daniel Carlson missed 3 field goals and Jackson Powers-Johnson had the mistake of all mistakes. So Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear how you guys feel. Are you feeling like this is a positive win? Are you feeling super pumped? I know the Raiders are very hated, and we should all be happy to beat this, horrible division rival. But guys, this kind of just felt like, man, the Chiefs got away with one. And how many of these games are they going to get away with before they don't anymore? Because it just feels like it's a matter of time before one of these very close games, one of these one-possession games, doesn't go in the Chiefs' favor. And that's going to be a very tough day because we've been talking about it all along. The Chiefs do not play their competition like they are the best team in football. They played down to their competition. The Chiefs were favored by, I think, 12.5 points on Black Friday. They won by 2 points, and they should have lost on a walk-off field goal, but the Chiefs escaped. And another positive from this game, getting back to the positive thoughts for this video, Charles Omenihu looked pretty good. Charles Omenihu was coming back from that ACL injury. I didn't expect him to play all that much. He had some pretty good snaps logged. He didn't have any, sacks, but you kind of saw that the juice that he brought helped other guys get through. George Karlaftis had a fantastic game. He had a big sack on his former quarterback, Aiden O'Connell. He had a pass breakup at the line of scrimmage. He was a really good pass rusher in this game, and he was one of the better guys that we saw. Chris Jones had 2 sacks, and he hadn't had a sack since that game against the Chargers earlier this season. So the pass rush looked good, but you also saw the secondary completely went away from Najee Johnson. You saw Joshua Williams get put in for him, and he looked better. But again, Aiden O'Connell kind of tore up this Chiefs secondary. You saw him throw really, really well against them. He had over 300 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. So I think the Chiefs' defensive regression is also a thing to be concerned about. Because in these moments where teams have the ball with under 2 minutes to go, whether they're driving to tie the game or they're driving to win the game, the Chiefs' defense is kind of let up. We've seen it against the Broncos. We've now seen it against the Raiders. The Chiefs' defense has folded, and if it wasn't for a blocked field goal or a botched snap, the Chiefs would have probably lost both of those football games. And so I'm grateful for the win. You can't, chalk it up to anything else. The Chiefs won, and a win is a win in the NFL. It is hard to win. But guys, it just feels like, man, at some point the Chiefs' luck is going to run out, and I don't want to be here for that. But Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. We are going to talk about this game all day, throughout the week, and just break down, different parts that I saw. We're going to talk about the offensive tackles at way more length in tomorrow's video. We're going to talk about the secondary because I do think there's some issues going on. You saw, Najee Johnson get pulled and Williams get put in. We're going to talk about that all week, so you do not want to miss out on that. And the only way that you're not going to miss out on that is by hitting the like button on this video and subscribing for more daily Chiefs coverage. We are doing stuff each and every single day on the channel. You do not want to miss out. Again, the Chiefs were able to escape this game against the Raiders. They won by the final score of 19-17 on Black Friday at Arrowhead Stadium, and the Chiefs advance to 11-1 on the season and clinch a playoff berth. Chiefs Kingdom, that is all I have for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, guys, go Chiefs.